Are you a deviant? You know, like those of us who binge watch serial killer programmes, laugh at the stupid shit people do, and revel in anything adult? Well, you found your people. Join us as we crack open the door to the padded cell and release the insanely stupid, the weirdly wonderful, and those who choose to live outside societal norms. We'll delve into the strange, the macabre, the sexy, and the outrageous. So if you're a deviant, then you have your place with us in the padded cell. Hello, and welcome to episode 16 of the Padded Cell Podcast. And I need to say Happy New Year. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.
However, it feels really weird because we're not there yet.
We're just travelling in time.
Yes, we are
can
time
predict
travellers.
It's a lovely new year.
So, I mean, let's be honest. I think all of you have worked out, I think I've even said it before today, that we record in advance. And especially over this period, over Christmas, because we're just a bit busy, aren't we, Nance? I know everyone's busy, but, you know, the Christmas CUNT over here, you know, is still like full on Christmas and stuff, aren't you? At the Christmas market last night, weren't you?
I was.
Yeah. So we're dead busy. So we're recording some episodes before Christmas. Just give us a bit of time off because I think we deserve it, to be honest. And it gives me a bit more time to chat with my fans on Facey. So for you guys, it's Happy New Year, but it's literally just before Christmas for us. So I'm sitting here like being very non-Christmas, and in the background I've got a dead nice like twinkly tree and Santa hats everywhere, and it's all very nice.
Back in our proper studio.
Oh, doesn't it feel nice?
Yeah.
So, you know, if you've been living up a tree or you haven't watched our previous episodes,
rude.
We went to a temporary... Yeah, definitely rude. We went to a temporary studio in the Albert Dock in Liverpool, which is a very famous landmark. And it was really nice. It was posh.
It's lovely. It's just not here.
It's just not here.
It's not the same.
No. And, do you know, I'm sure Jacob won't mind me saying this, you know, where we are in this jet part of Liverpool, it's not as posh as the Albert Dock.
No.
But this is like home, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I came back and went, it's great to be back.
Yeah.
But we've brought the new table with us. Like I put it on my back. I single-handedly threw it over my shoulder and carries it through the Albert Dock all the way up to Mount Pleasant, where we are now. So even though Liverpool, we're in Mount Pleasant. Very nice.
Start getting people outside the door
now
waiting for us.
All the fans outside for signatures, as if.
Like a flash mob.
Dear me. So yeah, we've got our nice new table. So it feels great. It feels great to be back.
It's nice to be back.
Yeah. So apart from going to Christmas markets and stuff, what have you been up to?
Generally just Christmas stuff. I'm very stressed mum at Christmas at the minute.
Are you a bit more stressed this year?
A lot more this year, yeah.
A lot more?
A lot.
I wasn't going to say, but
no.
like, yeah, you look a bit stressed. So you're not sorted yet at all?
Nope.
Oh dear.
Far from it.
So you're just going to tell the kids they've been naughty and they're not getting presents this year?
Well, I done
including
one.
Sid.
Sid's getting fuck all. We done one shopping trip with the oldest last night.
Oh.
To be fair, I've never seen a kid shop so fast in my life.
Wow.
So they get a budget.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it. It was like a supermarket sweep.
Wow. That's the sort of shopping trip you want.
Probably about 40 minutes and she was done.
Wow.
500 quid gone.
God, I'd be sick. I'd be like, spend that slower.
I know.
Enjoy that money that you're spending. Thing is, though, nowadays, 500 quid, it doesn't go that far.
Nowhere. Honestly,
God,
she went home with like 3 bags.
See, as a kid, if I would give him 500 quid, I'd probably just be in tears. I'd be like a millionaire.
Yeah.
But 500 quid nowadays doesn't really go that far, does it?
No.
What have I been doing? Getting over a cold. As you can all hear, I've got like a sex chat line voice going on. I've gone down an octave. And
you're going to do something naughty in the middle bit.
Let's talk really close to the microphone.
Let's talk about your dangly bit.
My dangly bit? I haven't got a dangly bit, you cheeky cow.
Their dangly bit.
Oh. I'm not like Victor, I'm Victoria. So I've been getting over the cold, and so I might just talk sexy down the mic
and you missed
talk somebody through a wank.
You missed our market trip.
I did. I was gutted, but that was last night, and I knew I had to be here today. I thought if I go to the market, I'll probably have a few little glue vines, you know, because, you know, therapeutic, yeah.
Medicinal.
And not only would I be like bunged up today, but I'd also be hungover. And it's not good.
See, we know it's not good. She makes.
It's a sacrifice, yeah, not going to the Christmas market. I was really gutted, to be honest, but I've got to be sensible at the end of the day.
I did buy all of the cheese in your absence.
Did you? I thought you would do. I actually did nip in there with Jim. I saw the cheese stall. Yeah. Very nice there, isn't it?
Some new ones as well, they were lovely.
Oh, was there? Yeah. There was like this triple chocolate one last year, which was divine. I thought it'd be rank, it was lovely.
This year they had a limoncello one.
Oh, okay, very lemony.
And a garlic one.
It's a garlic cheese, nice. On toast.
But the lemon one was like cheesecake.
What was it?
Melted
it wasn't too lemony.
It was dead good.
Wow.
Yeah.
We need to just start the podcast show. We're talking about all sorts here.
Should have just brought the cheese and people
Should have
could
brought the
watched
cheese
us.
and people can just watch us. There's a fetish for that, watching you eating.
We've got cheese in the fridge
Have you?
and crackers.
Is this you saying I really want Vic and Nance to eat provocatively on camera?
I mean, I didn't say that, but
Well, you just offered
But
me
we're
cheese,
willing
mate.
to do it.
It's like offering me drugs. Like you said,
But
Joe, some
better.
cheese.
Got some cheese, lad.
So, I'm going to say sorry now if I have to cough, splutter, wipe my nose and stuff. But, I'm just going to forge on and you're just going to have to get over the fact that I'm wiping my nose.
What a trooper.
What a trooper, yeah. So I'm just going to go through a little bit of listener feedback.
Go on.
Because everyone's been messaging and it's just lovely, isn't it, just to share these things. So I'm going to leave the name off this one. It's a little bit sensitive and I did read it to you recently. And this person said I was having kind of a rough time falling asleep, going through a bit of a rough time in work, and this person's like an emergency dispatcher. And I remembered I had about 15 minutes left of episode 13 to watch. I thought that might be nice, get through the rough stuff out of my head for a minute so I can hopefully fall asleep, get me thinking about something else. And it was your Christmas bit that came on. I love Christmas and such a sweet, dare I say wholesome, little sharing of memories got me out of my funk and smiling. So thank you. Just wanted you to know that you cheered me up and I'm happy for it.
It's
Isn't that
very
nice? Do you know, I know you see all the likes and the follows and stuff. When you get little messages like that, someone's having a really shit day.
Yeah.
Whatever's happened. And they've listened to 15 minutes of the podcast and gone, I can sleep now. I feel all right now. It's just took the mind off it a little bit. So our little fucking corner of chaos, we're having a great time, is actually, it's helping people a little bit. And it's just a little bit of escapism, isn't it? That's really nice. And then somebody on Instagram, Jay, I'm going to call him. Hi, smiley face. Just wants to say that I randomly stumbled upon your podcast a week ago and binge watched all episodes in 2 days. You guys have become my favourite podcast to listen to. Thank you for reminding me that I actually like kinky stuff and that it was not just a phase, lol. I'm learning a lot from you. Thank you so much for everything you do. Greetings from Germany. Nice. My favourite place.
It was never just a phase.
No, never just a phase, no. So now I've got this girl messaged me and I had to message her on Facebook and say, can you voice note me how you say your name? Because I thought I don't want to get a name wrong, so I think I'm going to get this right. Hello ladies. At first, obviously she's foreign, so her English isn't. Big thank you for your podcast. You are doing a great job. Well done. First time I found it, I thought, gosh, an hour long. I'm already bored and I haven't listened yet. How mistaken I was. I went through the first 2 episodes in one go and I'm with you every week since then. Again, thank you so much. You are truly amazing. I'm very grateful that I came across your channel. All the best. Evelina, I think it is. I'm really, really sorry, babe, if I got that name wrong. I know you actually said it a few times. I've listened to it loads, but I might have got that wrong. Sorry. So there you go. Some nice little messages. I've shared some not so nice ones as well, haven't I? But I think the nice ones this time of year start the new year off.
Yeah.
And a bit of a positive. So because it's our first episode of 2024, I am going to bring Lady C to the table.
Okay.
I don't know whether people can see on camera that I've got implements. Can they see this on camera, Jacob?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you can see me all my implements of torture. It's like a threat hanging, isn't it?
I mean, the knife is directed right at me.
It is, yeah. I actually dropped the knife before, didn't I? And I said, oops, sorry, that was just me knife.
And no one bats an eyelid. Jacob just dives under the desk.
So I've got a little story. I did say that I had a little story that I didn't tell you. So on my way out this morning, I had all these bits and bobs in a bag. And my car was parked outside the house and I went around the outside of the car, driver's side on the road. And I was putting my bag on the back seat of the car. I didn't know that my bag had a big hole in it.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And I live on a main road. Buses, taxis, cars. And, it was still pretty busy, not long after peak hour. And, so this fell out along with that.
Didn't damage them, though.
That just fell on the floor, smack, didn't do nothing. This little fucker rolled. This rolled across the road. And there was cars like this as my baton was rolling into the road. And I'm like, part of me's like, oh,
Don't
God,
hit
the
it.
shame. Part of me's like, don't run over me, baton. So I was like dodging the cars then, trying to claim my baton. Had to go to the other side of the road, pick the baton up, sort of like discreetly put it behind my back, standing, waiting for the traffic to pass again, looking to see if any of the neighbours were watching out the window. And then just like discreetly just went across the road again and threw it in the back of the car. Oh my God.
Nothing
Traffic
to see,
dodging to
folks.
pick up my baton. My BDSM baton. It only happens to me, honest to God. So I'm going to do some Lady C stuff. And as I say, because it's our first episode, we're going to like concentrate on Lady C this time.
Yep.
And just like BDSM stuff in general, because it's apparently your favourite subject. When we put reels and stuff out there, you'd all like it and share it and stuff. So we thought, right, let's treat you to a full episode of BDSM and kink.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So I've got a few things that I want to talk about. It depends on how much time you've got, whether to get through it all or not. But the first one is about an event that we had, I think it was around 2015, 2016. And it's called CFNM, Clothed Female, Naked Male. Now, we have done this since, but this I'm referring back to this specific event.
Okay.
So just to explain what this is, it's a BDSM event where all of the females are clothed and they're normally in like your BDSM attire, looking, a bit like dom-a scary. And then the guys, and it is male submissives, no female submissives at this party. The male submissives are naked. The only thing they're allowed to wear is a collar. Possibly some cuffs. And if they come with a female, they'll normally say you're allowed to wear your collar, your cuffs or whatever. And that's it. And a lot of the guys that come to this sort of thing, they're very much into servitude and pleasing mistresses. And they like being naked. It's part of their submission. And for some, it's a bit of humiliation as well, because they're naked and all the ladies are clothed. So it's very much a kink of theirs. And we like it when the guys are naked. Yep. Because, sorry, Jacob, but men's dangly bits are just a little bit funny, aren't they? and they're all different and unique, and they come in all different shapes and sizes. And so when they come in all naked with the little dangly bits going, you just want to give them a little smack, don't you?
Especially when it's cold.
Yeah.
Like a little walnut whip.
Little walnut whip. And sometimes they're that hairy, you can't actually see anything because it just disappears straight in there, doesn't it?
Not
surrounded. So yeah, anyway, so we quite like when the dangly bits are out. And we make them do some stuff, and it's very light-hearted. There's lots of games involved. And sometimes mistresses will take an odd submissive away and do their thing individually. Yep. But most of the time we'll do group stuff. And at this particular event, there's 3 things that we made them do. So the first thing we made them do, I've got a load of walnuts, and I made them bend over, and I made them clench a walnut in the bum hole. Not like in. It wasn't like in. They were rimming the walnut.
Rimming.
They were rimming it. So, I mean, one guy, I swear to God, he's definitely into anal, because I put it there and his bum just said like, I went, whoa, no, don't. Swallow it. Suck it up.
You are not allowed.
Just hold it. So he had a bit of a problem, actually, because
Not
the
sucking it
idea
in.
is that we were putting the walnuts in place and we were caning them to see if they'd release the walnut. But this guy, the problem with him was releasing it. He was sucking this thing up. But it was just so funny because they were like, the little bum cheeks were like really, really, really tight, and the faces were doing all this, really trying to hold on to the walnut for dear life. I think, I'm not going to say the guy's name, but the guy that did actually win it, he was an absolute star. And when I said to him, right, you can release it, and I went, no, mistress, I'm happy to keep it in. I was like, wow, okay. So that was good. And then the next thing we did, I got them all to sit around our stage, on the end of the stage. And I'd bought loads of like stick-on, like googly eyes and moustaches, beards. I got them like loads of crazy glasses, like, star-shaped glasses, Elvis glasses.
Like Calvin's glasses.
Like Calvin's glasses last time. All sorts of things like wool that they could make hair out of. Somebody even put a pack of ciggies down, right? So I said to him, you need to dress your cock and balls for me and make a face out of it. And there's an ultimate winner, obviously, on the day. And I think the person probably just got a good beating out of me, really, whoever won.
Lucky guy.
Oh, my God, Nance, the pictures. I've actually got one. Now, I've had to be very careful. Oh, God, I've actually got the one that I've disguised. Hang on. So I've had to be very careful because, some cock and balls are identifiable, I suppose. I said to Jim, do you think you'd recognise this person if I showed them the cock and balls? He went, no, probably not.
I can recognise a lot of people from their
Can you?
genitalia.
Shit.
But it's got a disguise on, so it's fine.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, I thought I had one with a disguise on. I don't know what I've done with it. I was going to carry on looking for it. So anyway, the guys, they were putting glasses on, they were putting googly eyes, and one particular guy put a ciggy in it. The one that I've got here, I've had permission actually to show this particular one. The other one that was better, but I haven't got permission for that one. He's tucked the ciggy just under his willy. Right, okay, so advice from our producer. Am I going to get into proper shit, mate, if I show a bell end on a podcast?
Probably.
Oh, am I?
Yeah. We can blur it though.
Can you?
Put pixels over the...
Okay, so if I turn this round now...
Pixeled penis.
I'll pixel the penis.
Okay, so Nancy's going to get the full effect.
Yes.
All right. And Jacob's going to pixelate the cock and balls for me. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
For the camera. Can you see that, Jacob?
Yeah.
Isn't it impressive?
I don't think YouTube will even know that's a penis, to be honest.
You bitch! Wow. Fucking hell.
I think he's saying his is
I
better.
thought he was a nice boy. He's obviously comparing it to his own. That's not a penis.
That's not a real penis.
So you get the idea. So they had glasses, googly eyes, put the ciggy in. There was one particular guy and he was mixed race and he had this like brown wool and he made like this rasta type thing out of it. Oh, it was inspired. It was so good. The things that they did. I thought the guys were like, nah, fuck off, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
No, they were well into it. They had such a laugh. It took them about 20 minutes. I'm like, guys, you need to stop now. This is a competition. It was so, so good. And
no
then,
erections, though.
No erections. No. I mean, I think sitting next to a load of the guys with googly eyes on the knobs wasn't really doing it for them.
You never know what does it
Well, you
for
never
people.
know. There could be a googly eye fetish out there.
Yeah.
So there was that. And then the last thing we did, I got oranges and I put them in one nylon stocking. So it was like when you held it up, the orange fell to the floor, basically. Yeah. And then they tied the free end of the nylon around their cock and balls. They did it themselves. I didn't do much touching it. Do it yourself. Yeah. And then I put like a small football down on the floor. And then we had teams of 2 on each side. And they were swinging the nylon with the orange in the bottom between their cock and balls. Now, bearing in mind, as it's swinging this orange, it's going to be hurting the cock and balls. But they were really competitive. So they were like really going for it, trying to hit the ball with their orange into a goal. But they were like shouldering each other out the way and everything, like proper bodies over each other.
It's a new type of tackling.
So funny. But in between, there's like, because when they were swinging it, obviously it was pulling on their cock and balls. So for me, it was just like easy entertainment. I was just sitting back going, this is just the life, watching these guys make a complete
Isn't that like
knob
your
of
favourite
themselves.
type of time when you're just sitting and you think, people think these events are all so serious and like hardcore, but really you're just having a ball.
Exactly. And this is the point of me telling this particular story.
Yeah.
Because I've had loads of people contacting me saying, I'd love to do what you do, but I don't think I'm strict enough. I don't think I'm serious enough and all that. And I go back and say, you don't think that I'm like that all the time. Yeah. I'm really, really not. I act into a role and it's taken me a while to feel comfortable acting into that role. Yeah. But it hasn't got to be serious all the time. At the end of the day, we're real people asking other real people to do mad shit. Yeah. It's going to get funny. Laugh at it. At the end of the day, these guys need to know that, we're all human and we're remembering that they're human and we're not going to make them do things that are going to like emasculate them, and damage them. It's all supposed to be like tongue in cheek and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, we do some serious sessions, but at the public events, we often, try and keep it lighthearted, especially for those who are new to the scene and, and tiptoeing into it, and the mistresses as well. We've talked about whimper before, haven't we? Yeah. Similar sort of thing. So to tell these stories, I'm trying to sort of dispel some myths around BDSM. That it's all pain, torture, seriousness, shouting, humiliation. That's just what you see on telly. That's just what people want you to know. Actually, we just have the best time, don't we?
Literally, yeah.
And these are all consenting adults.
Yep.
You know, they've all took their own clothes off. We haven't took them off for them. We haven't stripped them naked. Yeah. They have all consented to this fully. And before we do any of this, we explain exactly what we're doing and what's expected of them. And they're fully compliant.
Yep.
If they didn't want to do any of this, they'd just say no. And we'd be like, yeah, fine. But the fact that they want to tie nylons around their cock and balls with an orange dangling from it, playing orange football with other naked men doing the same thing, I doff my cap. I don't think I could do it if I had the cock and balls.
No.
I don't think I could do half the things I do to men if I was a boy. You know why? Back away with that fucking cattle prod, you weirdo. You're not coming anywhere near me. So that's the clothed female, naked male. And now there are events out there that are clothed male, naked female.
Yep.
There's less of them around. And they tend to be much more submissive servitude, those ones. And they are a bit more formal. And the girls are very much like, they wait on and they sit at the master's feet and all that. It's a really nice dynamic, to be fair, but the clothed female, naked male is just a hoot.
Yeah.
We just have a ball, don't we? Humiliating them all.
Yeah.
So the next one, I'm going to talk about sploshing. Because you did a bit of sploshing recently.
A little bit, and I'm intrigued.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your sploshing, just while I blow my nose? What's the point in hiding? I'm just blowing my nose, all right.
You're going to duck under the table?
No.
So ours was obviously for charity.
Yes.
Sid and I done a sponsored Gunge, raised some money for charity. And it was just this giant gun tank. It was like living my 90s childhood dreams of being on Get Your Own Back.
Yeah.
We're in this massive Gunge tank. And we'd done a little bidding auction for who got to pull the lever on us.
Yeah.
And I was a bit terrified. I thought I was going to hate it. And I was like dreading it the whole time. Or like, why did we agree to this? And then it happened. And it was just... I was a bit like, oh, this is nice.
It feels nice, doesn't it, the Gunge? So who are the guys that make the Gunge?
Messy Pup.
Messy Pup Gunge.
Yeah.
And they do, it's purposely for sploshing, basically, isn't it? I know people get sexy in it as well. But it's in amazing bright colours, isn't it?
Yeah, so we had our Sex
You
Pistols
had your Sex
colours,
Pistols
obviously
colours.
always
Which
on
are,
brand.
tell the masses.
Pink and yellow. Mm-hmm. If you don't know that, where have you been?
Well, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the Sex Pistols later. Okay. You didn't know this, but we're doing it anyway. So you thoroughly enjoyed it?
I did.
So I've also been in the Gunge tank.
Yeah.
And I did it for charity in July. Loved it. I have actually got a photo which I'm gonna share a bit later on. But why do people like it and what is it? So sploshing is basically messy play, and it can be with food or it can be with other organic substances. It can be inorganic substances as well. But a lot of people are into it because they like the feel and the texture of the things on their skin. Or they like to get up close and personal with other people who have got the same gun because it feels nice against their skin. Now, some people do this in a sexual way. So they might do it in the bedroom. You'd have to have a lot of sheets down, wouldn't you?
I'm not doing that
in
in
a
my
paddling
bedroom.
pool. Some people just like the sensation as a kink.
Yeah.
So we've talked about kinks before. Not all kinks are sexual. Some people just are into kink. It makes them happy. It pleases them.
Yeah.
I can't really think of any better way to say it, to be honest with you. I mean, this sort of, when we've talked about impact before, and we know why impact stimulates hormones and what it does and the letdown of the hormones and everything, and it gives you the high. But why would sploshing be a kink? Because it doesn't do any of those things. But it's just a pleasurable, pleasing thing. And I know some people that have done sploshing, they said it takes them back to their childhood.
Yeah.
Messy play. And it takes them into this other sort of headspace of not being serious. So very stressful lives, loads and loads of things going on, and they start messing around with food or substances and throwing it at each other, and you're 12 again or even younger, and it just takes you out of that sort of
that definitely probably was the case for us. Obviously I've been going through quite a stressful time recently, and that week in particular was quite high, highly strung, stressed out, and then we were just in this Gunge and it was just like, wow,
you can't help but smile.
Yeah, it was just dead fun.
And when you're watching it, you can't help but smile.
Yeah.
When you're seeing somebody in the Gunge tank and they're just waiting for it, they don't know where it's going to come, it just makes you smile. So that's why I love sploshing, because it's enjoyable for the spectators as well as the people that are taking part. Yeah. It's so funny, and we all of us like seeing other people in a disadvantaged position. And so there you are in a Gunge tank, about to be sploshed in this position. It is just funny, isn't it? You can't help it. But as a kink, I suppose it is quite unusual. But, you know, I think a lot of us have got something that we like to touch. We're all tactile in some way, whatever that is, whether it's leather or silk or whatever. And some people enjoy the feel of substances, liquid substances or food substances being squished between the fingers and stuff like that. So I will show you the picture of me being sploshed. I think I've still got it on my laptop in a minute. But we had our very first sploshing event in 2013, so 10 years ago. Actually, it was the beginning of 2013, so it was more than 10 years ago now. And in my madness, I decided to do it indoors. And our building has got 4 stories, and we did it on the very top floor in this big, massive room. And we put like sheeting all over the floors, plastic sheeting all up the walls and everything. Everything was just masked out. And we also have sheeting going out of the room and down the corridor into the bathroom so you can go straight into the shower. Yeah. We had a big, massive paddling pool set up, probably like a 4-person, 5-person paddling pool in the middle of the room with more towels and sheeting around it. And it was filled with custard. Now, there's a guy who was on the scene at the time. He's sort of on the periphery now. He doesn't really step into it very much anymore. But this was his idea. And you know, after you feel like saying, fucking hell, mate, you could have warned me it was going to be really this messy. His name was Dave the Pervert.
Was he a
very
pervert?
apt, very apt. And he said, hey, Vic, should do the sploshing thing upstairs and we'll do some sock wrestling. I went, what the fuck, sock wrestling, Dave? He went, right, he said, so you have a pool full of custard, 2 people in the pool, and you each put a white sports sock on and you go wrestle the sock off the other person. I went, how's this BDSM? He went, it's not. I went, why are we doing it then? Because it'd be a laugh. All right, yeah. Okay, yeah. So I thought, maybe, is this going to be very popular? Oh my God, there's about 40 people all want to do this competition. So me being competitive, I obviously took part. Like you. I wasn't completely naked. I think I had my bra and knickers on, but I had a white sock on. And I was just turning everybody over in this pool like that, get down there. I think some people were just a bit afraid. I went, I submit. But we got to the end and we had like an all girls and an all guys and then a guy-girl competition. And one of the guys, you will know him. I'm not going to say his real name. I'm going to call him Pete.
Okay.
Little Pete. And he's got some physical disabilities, which means he has to use sticks. Yeah. But, you know, he's strong. He's all right. He's just got sticks. I'm not going to treat him any different just because he's got sticks. Okay. You know what I mean? Anyway, so we got in the pool and everyone around the room's going, who's going to get him? It was me. And they're all, oh, God, Lazy C with the disabled guy, the paddling pool. She can't. She's not going to do that. She's not going to do that thing. So he's looking up at me like, shit. I went, right. I said, do you want me to be gentle or shall I just treat like everybody else? And he went, treat me like everybody else, mistress. And it was like 3, 2, 1. I swear to God, I turned him round, got him on the floor and sat on his chest. And then I went, can I take your sock? And he went, yes, mistress. Took his sock like that and slapped him across the face with it.
Soggy sock.
Oh, it was just so funny. But when I did it, half the room were like, yeah. And half the room were like, oh. She's just like sat on a disabled person's chest. And he loved every minute of it.
I bet you did.
Loved every minute of it. And then we did the boy girl. And I'm almost positive I wrestled Carlos. I'm sure I did. Because we were like down to the finals in the boy girl thing. I'm sure I did. And if I did, and I can't remember it accurately, I am so sorry, Carlos. I'm sure it was fabulous and we both enjoyed it thoroughly. So after we did the actual competition, myself and my submissive at the time, who was my full-time submissive, we were supposed to be clearing up. I could have got loads of other submissives to do it, but they were all getting showered. I thought, right, let's just try and contain the mess. So me and him, rather than clearing everything up, decide to do full body slides across the floor in this custard because the custard was everywhere. Yeah. It was messy anyway. So, you know, people getting in and out the pool. There was just custard everywhere. So we went like, sod it. So we went like that, tipped the pool up.
Oh my God.
And we were doing custard angels. Honest to God, I have actually still got a DVD.
Sid done a Gunge angel.
Oh.
He did.
Did he?
He got dared by someone. He did. He got a little bit extra.
Excellent. Did you get on CCTV by any chance?
I think so. Oh, we haven't even looked at that.
Let's look at the CCTV. Yeah. So there's me and him doing custard angels on the floor, and I was literally like sitting up against the wall and then pushing off with my feet and go across the floor. Honestly, I felt like I was 10. It was the most amazing night, and it was my first journey into sploshing, and not my last, because I really, really, really enjoyed it. Oh, what fun we had. And then the clear-up process took all night and the next day, because I just didn't think that people would hold the walls, hold the door frames, hold the banisters with custardy fingers. So basically the whole club had custard all over it, because we've got showers on every floor, and the showers on the top floor were busy and they wouldn't wait.
Going downstairs.
So they went downstairs on the carpet with custard on the feet down to the next bathroom.
Custard as well.
Opening the door with custardy hands on the shower. I swear to God, there was custard everywhere, and I swore I'd never do it again after that, even though I had a great time. And then we did. Did the next year and the year after and the year after that. So we've done it several times with different incarnations. And one of the times we actually had a bouncy castle outside in the yard. And we had custard all over it. Now, I'm not going to say who the company is that we got the bouncy castle off, because we didn't tell them. No. We didn't tell them what we were using the bouncy castle for. They knew what sort of club we were, and he went, oh, I didn't think you'd want a bouncy castle. I went, well, you know, we do anything and everything in here. There's a kink for everybody. And he went, all right, yeah.
Whatever.
So he didn't know. He does now if he watches this. We put custard all over it. All over ourselves, naked. Completely naked, me included. And it was all girls. Oh, wow. It was great. And we were bouncing off the sides. We were sliding all over the place. It was brilliant. And then I was like, shit, how are we going to clean this? So my submissive and another submissive got a jet wash out. And I said to them, right, I don't want you to leave until that thing is spotless. Anyway, I went back out. It was sparkling. I went, bloody hell, it's clear that it came.
They were probably made up.
Yeah. So the guy said, don't turn it off. He said, leave it going. He was going to come later on for it. I think he wants to inspect it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And he went, oh, this looks great. And he didn't say it looks cleaner, but in his head he's going, this is being cleaned, thanks very much. So that's the sploshing.
It's been jizzed on or something.
Probably, yeah. And I've gone out there with a jet wash and jet washed all the jizz off. So I have got a picture. I'm going to try and find it as I'm talking. I thought I was dead organised with my pictures, and now, oh, here we go.
There you are.
So this is me sploshing that I did in the summer, facilitated by Sarah, who is here today. Thank you very much. I had a wonderful time. And you can see that I wasn't enjoying myself one little bit.
I know which picture you're going to show me already.
That
I knew it, yeah.
So there's me in the Gunge tank, getting completely gunged and having the time of my life.
Isn't that your Facebook picture as well?
It is. Well, it was my Facebook picture. I've changed it recently, but it was my Facebook picture a little while. It's cool, isn't it? It was such a good time. And you can just see from my face that even though I'm like pulling faces, it's more because it was cold. But the actual feeling of it was just amazing.
It's just pure joy.
Yeah, it was.
And it is quite, it's quite nice and warm, isn't it, the actual Gunge?
Well, when it hit me initially, I thought it was quite cold. But then as soon as it hit my body, it warmed up really quickly.
Yeah, it does.
To be honest, I felt really silky.
Yeah.
Their particular Gunge is really silky.
Yeah, it's nice.
Because I have used Gunge before. Jacob's laughing at me. What's funny, mate? This is our everyday life.
And you're so nonchalant about it.
Well,
How many likes for Jacob to get gunged?
Oh my God, a Patreon!
Patreon special.
And Dylan. A double header,
Let's
him and
do
Dylan. I think this could be a thing, actually.
Yeah.
Meet the team. And
You're
then
up for it,
gunge them.
Jacob? You're up for it.
I'll get back to you on that.
He's not soft, is he?
It's either
Nominate Calvin for it.
all of you.
I think you'd all have to do it, wouldn't you?
He's
Really?
the one that was scared of coming to your club.
I think we should all. They
That
should all
sounds
do
like
it.
Jacob's not
It's a
scared of coming
challenge.
to the club.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It's definitely a night for Jacob.
Movie's night.
That's tonight.
Right, so before I carry on, I'm just going to have a little look at these things that I've brought with me today. You can see sort of got hitty things on the table. Obviously, I've just referred to my bassin. And the reason I brought these things along is other things that people say is it's just so expensive to buy BDSM stuff.
And it can be.
And it can be. It really can be. And I've had quite a few of my things gifted, but I have invested an awful lot of money over the years. Probably into the thousands, actually, of my personal kit. Some of it I've resold on to buy new kit. But it can get really expensive. But, this is my job. And so when I charge people, they expect a certain standard. And that's why I buy good quality stuff. But a lot of you said, well, I haven't got the money to buy all these things. You don't have to have a lot of money at all. What is our favourite shop, Nance, as Kinksters when we go and look for stuff? Like DIY shop?
Like B&Q.
B&Q. So for those that are in America and everywhere else, like Walmart, I suppose. If you've got like a DIY store in the country, wherever you're from, that is your like BDSM haven, because that's where we all go.
If you've got an imagination, anything can be part of your kit.
Absolutely.
Like a spatula.
A spatula, yeah. So like chain, rope, carabiner clips. Mm-hmm. So obviously I've got these handcuffs here, nice spongy white handcuffs. But I mean, really, it's a cuff with just a strap on it, isn't it? So you don't need a fancy cuff. Like, that's not that fancy anymore, it's really old. You don't need a fancy cuff. You can just use a bit of rope or chain with a carabiner clip. You can buy chain dead cheap in the DIY.
Just don't buy handcuffs from Poundland. Definitely
don't buy handcuffs from Poundland. They won't last a minute. And then these battens, I mean, this is a very, very pretty batten. But what does it look like, Nance?
It's like a rolling pin.
It looks like a rolling pin, doesn't it? And I went to a craft shop recently.
Tested,
I know, yeah.
And what's this?
On the spot. I went to a craft shop recently in Krakow, and they had rolling pins with like carved designs in them.
They've got those in inspirations too.
Have they?
Christmas ones.
So with like Christmas trees and all that on it. Oh, do you know what would be dead good?
Let me hit you with my gingerbread rolling pin.
But you could. I mean, exactly that. Often we have implements that have got like engravings and things on them. So when you actually hit somebody, it leaves a mark behind. Yeah. I've got like a Doc Marten boot type paddle, haven't I? So when I whack them, we have like a Doc Marten print on their ass. I say that like it's so normal, don't I? So similar thing with a rolling pin or any kinds of bass, I suppose. You can have them engraved. Yeah. But just a simple rolling pin would have the same effect. Yeah. And you can get different weights of rolling pins as well for different levels of effect. And then the good old glove. I mean, this to me is one of my favourite things. I love being hit with a glove. Yeah. And I'm just going to sit back and just hit myself so you can hear the sound. So, I mean, that's like, you can, it's, even though it's quite a hard slap, it's not like, but it's enough.
And the sound
is nice and fuzzy, isn't it? So obviously the person can wear the glove as well and hit you with it, but you can literally just, it's also quite intimidating as well. I quite like walking around, people just doing this. It's so simple, but I just look like a CONC, just walking around like that, dead effective. So a glove. Now this thing here, this is one of my favourite things. And it's by a creator called Fubar. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to give them a mention because this stuff is lovely and you can find them on Instagram. If you're on fetlife.com, you'll find them on there. The quality of the gear is really good. And obviously, you pay for it, but this is going to last me for life because I'm going to be a dominatrix forever. Yeah. But, you can, if you haven't got the money to spend out on this sort of thing, what else could you use, Nance?
Literally fucking anything.
A spatula.
Just a bit of metal in it.
Spatula. Yeah. So, your spatula in the kitchen could double up. So when you've got guests coming around, you get the spatula out and you give like a little wink to your partner. So a spatula, anything like that. And you've said before, like wooden spoons, anything like that. One of my favourite things is a meat tenderizer.
Yeah, we love them.
I love a good meat tenderizer on the
ones, but you can use any.
Yeah. Absolutely. You can get all sorts of different things. So the idea about me bringing these things along is to compare them to everyday items. Yeah. And also people have said, but I haven't got a bench or a cross to put somebody up against. You don't need anything. You just need a table. Yeah. A door frame or a banister.
Anything.
Oh God, you know what I did buy? Once years ago, I actually made a flogger out of it. I bought a spindle from B&Q and I used it to whack people with for a little while. Just a spindle, just a stair spindle. And then I actually got some proper stuff. This is in the early days. And then I cut it up and made a flogger out of it. Made my own little flogger.
It reminds me of those, the little buttons that our friend made during lockdown.
Oh, yeah. Do you know, loads of people got crafty, didn't they, over lockdown? Somebody that's on the scene actually works in B&Q, the DIY shop we were referring to before. And they said that the sales of chain, rope, carabiners, all that went through the roof during COVID because people were indoors experimenting.
I think if you know, you know. So if you're sitting there thinking, I know what you're up to.
Yeah.
That's a kinky shopping basket.
Yeah. If I worked in B&Q and somebody came along with a basket full of that, I'd be like that going, give me a business card.
Yeah.
Come to Townhouse, got an event for you, you dirty bastard.
Sunday.
Yeah. You can come to ours and use all your new stuff. But yeah, occasionally as well in the club, we do like little workshops for people to show them how you can use everyday items and that you don't need special equipment. And actually in the BDSM world, the best piece of equipment you've got are your hands and your brain. BDSM is all about mind fuckery.
And your sharp tongue.
Oh, God. Jim often says that I have got a very sharp tongue. We were talking about this recently, weren't we? So I'm even though I'm into like hitting people for fun, I'm not necessarily a fighter. So if somebody pisses me off, like really, really pisses me off,
boy, do you know it?
Just a few words, apparently Jim says, is enough to like cut you.
Poor Jim.
I've done it a few times to Jim and I've felt really terrible afterwards and I've apologised. But I suppose it's like part and parcel of what I do.
Yeah.
You know, I have this thing, somebody walks into the room, I just need to look at them and they're like, shit. Oh, hello.
That was good timing.
Oh, just a little change of producer.
Just to the button.
We had Jacob and now we've got Dylan, temporarily.
How do you know Jacob's just not Irish now?
Oh, right. Where was I? Yeah. So you don't need anything special. You just need your brain for the mind fuckery and you need your hands. And then the rest of it is just all additional, really. A little bonus. So get down to your DIY shop and stock up on your rope and your chain and stuff and get experimenting. So that wasn't really a dangly bit. It was just sort of like a little sort of bridge, I suppose. I'm just going to do two last little things because I've been farted on by Dylan. I'm going to talk very quickly about my ex-sub. I've talked about him quite a lot. I'm not going to use his real name. Just two little instances that we had which were really funny. He turned up one night in a crumpled suit. So he sometimes, quite often actually cross-dressed, but on this particular night, it was a special night and I can't remember what it was now. And he wore a grey suit, a shirt and a tie. And I went, you haven't ironed that, have you? You haven't had it pressed. I didn't have time, mistress, because he wanted to be there early for me.
Not good enough.
Well, you're not planning your time properly. You can't turn up because to serve me looking like a tramp.
It's embarrassing for you.
Take it all off. So anyway, he stripped right down and his undies weren't very good either. So they came off. So anyway, as penance, I said, you obviously don't know how to iron. So I put something out on fetlife.com. And for the next event, I advertised that everybody are very welcome to bring in their ironing because my submissive needs to practice. And I swear to God, the amount of ironing that he had. I set up an ironing board and an iron on the stage. So from 8 o'clock till about 1 o'clock, he was ironing everybody's clothing. He was really pissed off with me. So at the end of it all, I said, so do you feel competent with an ironing board now? And he went, yes, mistress. And don't like your tone there.
Spicy.
I said, maybe we should bring some more along next time. He was like, shitting himself. But honestly, he probably ironed at least 200 things that night, all piled up, all hung up and everything. Everybody was very, very appreciative of it, but he was
like
fuming.
me doing school uniforms.
And he never, ever turned up with unironed clothes ever again. I taught him a lesson.
Learned.
And then the last little thing about him, he'd been going through some shit. And we didn't have an awful lot of time at the time to do a lot of DS stuff, so dominant, submissive type stuff. I'd been busy, his life was up the wall. And so we hadn't done an awful lot. So I said, do you want to come and walk the dogs with us? Just come for a little walk. And he went, oh yeah, that'd be nice. He didn't know that in the back of my car.
I know what's coming.
Yeah. I had a dog hood and a lead and a collar. And so I went to a local beach And it was late. It was a very overcast night evening, so nobody was there, really. But I went to a secluded part of the beach and got the dogs out the car. And he was like, oh, I love walking the dogs. I went, good. So I pulled this hood out.
I'll say woof.
And his eyes went, partly was like, oh, and looked around to see how else was there. And part was like, he was so excited. So I went, come here. So the dog is like sitting there watching me going, like that. I put this dog hood on him and he's leaving his collar and I'm walking him around the beach with me other dogs. So I have actually got a picture. And I can share it because his face isn't on it. Mm-hmm. I look a bit younger on this because it was a little while ago. And you can see there's nobody on the beach. You ready for this?
Yep.
So you first.
Love it.
And there he is. Can you see that?
I can.
So there he is. He's on the beach with his dog hood on. And he was like that for, I don't know, about half an hour. And nobody else came on the beach. It was a lovely time. And so I was throwing the ball for the dog and I went, go on, fetch. The dogs were like, fuck that. You're not having the ball.
Race you.
And they were racing him for the ball. And he had the best time. It was really, really good. So there you go. That's my my submissive. And I don't really want to say his name. He's not with us anymore. He died 5 years ago now. And I miss him terribly. He was such a good guy, a really, really good sport. And you know who you are. You're still out there somewhere. I can feel you around. And thank you for giving me some of the best times of my life as a mistress. What a guy. What a guy. Right, so we've had the fart buzzer. So we need to stop. I was on a fucking roll then, Dylan.
Oh, I was enjoying that.
Oh, were you? And from the room? How long were you sitting there?
I'll never tell.
Wait till we tell Dylan he's getting gunged.
Yeah.
Getting guns?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't hear that bit? Yeah.
Like Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
Oh.
A gunge tank?
Yeah.
He's actually up for it, look.
He is. A lot more than
Kinkster,
Jacob.
you. See a little twinkle in his eye
Dylan the
then.
Splasher.
Yeah. So, yeah, Jacob has nominated you to come and do some sploshing, be gunged for a Patreon.
I'll get guns, no problem.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Dylan's agreed to sploshing. Right, we're doing this. We're totally fucking doing this. This is not a joke, mate. We're doing it.
Get messy, pop on the phone quick.
Right, Grace. Okay, so we're going to finish off. If you don't know already, the last episode was a Patreon. It wasn't episode 16. This is episode 16. It was sort of like a little random one we've thrown in.
It was its own dangly bit.
It's his own little dangly bit, yeah. So I'm going to share the Patreon details on Facebook, and at the end of this podcast, we'll put a link on there. And we're going to be doing a few more Patreons, maybe about once a month. And it's our way of just making a few quid because I've said before, I'm just going to say it quickly again, I don't want to be sponsored and I don't want adverts and all that bullshit. Sorry to the podcasters that do it, it's your choice and all that. But as a listener, I hate it when adverts come up. I'm always like pinging past them. And actually for the podcasters to be paid, you need to listen to the full advert.
Yeah.
So it's a waste of time for people like me because I don't listen to them anyway.
Yeah.
And it's disruptive and I don't want you to be disrupted from our chaos, basically. I just want it to be an uninterrupted hour or so of madness. So we're going to be doing Patreon. So if you want to support us, you can head over there and you can see our special episodes.
And it's really worth it.
It is worth it. That episode was so fucking good.
Yeah.
We are going to put a few little teasers out there as well. So join us over on Patreon, and I will be adding to it over a period of time as well. I'll be asking for your feedback on what sort of things you want on Patreon. Because at the end of the day, it's about you as much as it is about us. Because you're the listeners, and without you, we wouldn't.
Give people an insight and stuff.
Yeah, all that. But without you, we wouldn't be here. So, give us some feedback on what you want to see on the Patreon and on other episodes as well. So, thank you guys, girls, and everybody in between. And I'm going to wish you all the best for 2024, even though we're actually still in 2023.
Who's gonna know?
Yes, have a good one and all. And we're going to leave it there. Goodbye.
See you next time.
And there we have it. Another day made better by listening to the curators of chaos. Thanks for dropping by. And if you enjoyed the show, we'd really appreciate you sharing your love for the Padded Cell podcast with your friends. Don't forget, give us a follow on our socials, maybe leave us some 5-star reviews, and feel free to send us an email to medic@the Padded Cell podcast, or even interact with us on Facebook, Insta, and our other socials, because we love chatting to you. Be sure to stop by next week because, as Bowie says, I don't know where I'm going next, but I promise it won't be boring. Catch you soon.